Okay, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on this webinar, all about stocks. My name is Afolabi Benro. I'm the head of sales trading at Stanbic IBTC Stockbrokers. With me on the call is Benjamin Jesumuyiwa. He's the head of mandates and settlements at Stanbic IBTC Stockbrokers. Again, if you're a beginner, you don't really know anything about stocks, you've come to the right place, and we're so glad that you could join us this morning. So we have three panelists with us on this webinar. I'll just introduce them one by one. We have Jennifer from Financial Jennifer. She's a certified financial educator. We have Shalafumi from Wealth Motley. She's a personal finance educator. And we also have Tosin from Money Africa. She's the founder of Money Africa and is also a financial educator. So I'm going to be taking us through a couple of slides, introducing stockbroking. Then Benjamin will come up and then he will talk us through how to use the mobile app and the online platform. But just before we do that, I'd like to just hear from our panelists very, very quickly. So guys, what are the myths and misconceptions that you've heard about trading stocks? So I'll just start with Money Africa. If you'd like to give us your thoughts, please.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. How are you doing? I trust you're great. Okay, great. So basically, my thoughts about trading stocks is it's very important for people to understand why they are trading, right? So are you a short-term trader? Are you a long-term trader? I think it's very, very important to determine your purpose. And once you're able to determine your purpose, then it's able for you to align according to those purpose. So the most important thing to determine before you start trading is what kind of a trader am I? All right, great.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that, Tosin. Okay, let's hear from Wealth Motley. What are your thoughts about the myths and misconceptions about trading stocks?
Hi, everyone. Good morning. It's nice to join you all. I think the biggest misconception for me has always been that you need a lot of money to start. I'm like, no, you don't. With as little as 5K, 10K, you can start to buy stocks. It's literally that easy. And that's the first thing I always like to tell people, that you don't need a lot of money to start. I think that's the biggest thing for me. That's one misconception I've always tried to just, and I want everyone to go out with today, that you don't need a lot of money. So you don't need billions. You don't need 1 million, all of those things. And thanks to, forums like this, you are able to learn the truth that, look, all of the stories you used to hear, it's a lie. You can start with very, very, very little limited funds, sometimes even as low as 1,000. You can buy your stock. I have bought shares of 1.5, depending on how the money is. Extra, emergency 2K. You just put it in stocks, So all of that's the first one. Another misconception that has sort of stayed with me for so long is that someone has to do it for you. Now, that is a big fat lie from the village people. They're trying to keep you from getting wealthy. No one has to do it for you. You can do it by yourself. You can literally research the companies, look at those things and buy by yourselves from your mobile phone at your own convenience. You don't need anybody to tell you what to do. So, those are the two big misconceptions that has always stayed with me. And I'm so happy we get an opportunity like this to bust all those myths and tell them it's a lie.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that. Okay, let's hear from Financial Jennifer.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm glad to be here. Okay, so I'm going to talk about one I keep getting every day. Like each time I make a post, maybe on social media or something, the first thing you hear is, Jennifer, what if all these apps disappear? What is going to happen to our money? Like this fear of, I don't blame people though, because every day you hear this app is no longer in existence, this one, another. So people are like, what will happen when these apps disappear? Guys, like that, that's why I actually jump on this. When I land that Stanbic IBTC has a stock brokerage app, I'm like, Stanbic IBTC as it is cannot run away with our money. I don't know. They've been in business for so many years, and this industry is highly regulated. It can't just go like that. So I try to let people understand that your money. This is not same. All those quick investments you're always doing. Every year you're hearing our money is disappearing, or people are running away with people's money. This is stock, highly regulated, and this is on with Stanbic IBTC. So I think People are beginning to understand that. And then something else that is close to what Shola mentioned is that it's complicated. People think it's one big thing like that. But it's not. Like she said, it's something you can do on your mobile app. And thankfully, when the first time I started using Stanbic BTC app, I'm like, oh, this is straightforward. Like it's not as complex as we think. Understand it, what is about, what the stock market is about, which is what we are going to be doing today. Create your account, and it's as easy as that. With 2K, with any amount you can start. So guys, I don't think it's not as complicated as you think. And nobody's running away with our money. Yes, I understand that maybe because of the economy or something, sometimes the market can be down or there, but chill. Even if it comes down, it will still go back up. That's it from my end.
Cool. Thank you so much, guys. Again, we're so glad to have you join us. And to everybody on the webinar, just fasten your seatbelts. We're going to start taking you through what you need to know about stockbroking now. So I'm going straight into the presentation. I'll just quickly start with an introduction to Stanbic IBTC stockbrokers. So we are basically the largest stockbroker in Nigeria. We have been for over a decade. We're a member of the Standard Bank Group, and we're here to serve our customers. So let's start. What are investments? So an investment is basically something that you put your money into with the hope that in the future is going to generate some kind of income or appreciate in value. There are different types of financial investments that you can find. There are stocks, which is what we're going to be talking about today. There's fixed income, bonds, treasury bills. There's jewelry, gold, silver, precious stones. We have mutual funds, exchange traded funds. You have real estate and real estate investment trusts. So moving on. So what is a stock? A stock is basically a financial instrument. It's a security that represents ownership in a part of a company. If you buy stocks in Stanbic IBTC Holdings, you're a part owner of that company. So you have a stake in that company. There are two major ways that you can make money from stocks. One is from corporate actions. That includes dividends and bonuses. And the other one is from capital appreciation. I'll just quickly talk to the two of them. So dividend is basically when a company gets to the end of their financial period or a certain threshold of their financial period, they give a portion of their earnings, whatever it is that they have as a profit, back to you who are a stakeholder. Remember, I mentioned that as if you buy stocks, you are a shareholder. So as a shareholder, you're entitled to dividends, which is basically a portion of the company's earnings. There are also bonus shares, which are additional shares that are given to existing shareholders on the basis of what you currently have. And then another one is capital appreciation. Sounds like a very big word, but it's not really complicated at all. What it is that you buy something at a particular price. So I buy Stanbic IBTC Holdings at 39 Naira. Something happens in the market, over time, the stock moves to 45 Naira. The difference between that 35 Naira and between the 39 Naira and the 45 Naira is 6 Naira. So you've basically made a capital appreciation of 6 Naira. So simple as ABC. Moving on to the next slide. So what is stockbroking? Stockbroking is basically the art of bringing together people who want to buy and sell listed securities. The stock market is a platform where securities of publicly listed companies are traded. So you have different instruments that trade in the stock market. You have stocks, you have some bonds, and that's basically what we do. A stockbroker is a representative who is certified to be able to carry out this service, such as Stanbic IBTC stockbrokers. So I just want to share some tips, that I think are pretty important. Some of these things I learned when I first started investing. And I think, it's something that we need to just bear in mind as we go along. So the first rule I learned about sort of investing in the stock market is only invest in the stock market with money you can afford to lose. And what do I mean by this? If you have rent money that you're supposed to use to pay your rent next week, don't go and put it in the stock market and think, oh, I'm going to make money with it, and then I'll now double my money. Yes, it's possible, but there's a risk that you could also lose that money. And if you lose your money, you're going to be out of a house. So don't put that kind of money in the stock market. So do your research and understand the risks. If you are going to buy something, I'd like to assume that you do your research before you buy it. So find out about what you're investing in. There are different kinds of stocks in the stock market, and we'll talk about some of the examples of stocks. So check out what the companies do. Is this a profitable company? Is this something that I'd be comfortable, investing my money in? Think long term. A lot of people think about the stock market and they think, oh yeah, I'll put my money in today. In 2 weeks' time, I've doubled my money. Like I said, it's possible, but there's also a risk that you could lose your money. If you want to benefit from stuff like dividends and capital appreciation, then you have to have a long-term view. in mind. Be consistent. Don't just think about it like, oh, I'm going to put my money in today and then, like I'll leave it again. No, just take a certain amount of if it's your salary, a certain amount of your allowance, just put it in the stock market every month, every time you get it, and just build up as you go like that. Diversify your portfolio of stocks. Don't just invest in one type of stock. There are different industries in the stock market. There's the banking, consumer. There's a wide array of companies that you can invest in, and there's always sort of like a better amount of safety that you can get from diversifying your portfolio of stocks. And of course, very, very important, seek professional advice. Reach out to us at Stanbic IBTC Stockbrokers. If you don't understand it, it's fine. Just reach out to us. We're always here to help you. So like I mentioned, there are different types of stocks in the stock market. This is just an example of some of them. Stanbic IBTC Holdings, GT Co, Zenith Bank Access, Fidelity, and the list goes on. Looking at other industries in the stock market, there's a Nestle in the consumer sector, Guinness, Nigerian Breweries, Flour Mills of Nigeria, in the cement sector, in the industrial sector, Dangote Cement, in the telecommunications, Airtel, MTN, in the industrial sector, again, Julius Berger, in the oil and gas, Seplat, Owando, and the list goes on. So these are just some of the examples of stocks you can invest in. So there are some factors that affect prices in stock markets. The whole idea of making money is basically to buy low, and then sell high. So buy at a lower price and sell when the price moves up. So supply and demand is something that affects prices in the stock market. If there are a lot more people that are willing to buy a stock than there is supply, the price is likely to go up. News or information, it basically speaks to the fact that news is something that affects the prices of stock. If something happens to a company, maybe there's something negative or they release like a profit warning, anything that's negative will probably affect the price of a stock in a downward direction. Anything that's positive is likely to affect the price of a stock in the upward direction. Company-related factors, if there's change of management and people don't like who's coming in to take the chair, that can affect the price of a stock. Investor sentiment, this speaks to the fact that if I have a lot of money and the economy is doing so well, and people are really wanting to buy stocks and they have a lot of money, disposable income to invest in, it can affect the prices in the stock. But if basically things are not really happening, things are down, the market is sort of like bearish, it can affect prices of stock in downward direction. And general economic conditions in the country, if the country is doing pretty well, there's money flowing around and stuff like that, it can affect prices in the stock market. So moving on, I just want to talk through some of the terms that you'll see if you're investing in the stock market. So the bid. A bid is an intention to buy something in the market. Ask, interchangeably used with offer, is the intention to sell a stock in the market. An order or a mandate speaks to the fact that when you want to place an order with your stockbroker, you have to give them an instruction. This is what is called an order or mandate. A bear market speaks to the fact that when prices are generally falling in the market, that's a bear market. A bull market speaks to when prices are generally rising in the market. A dividend, we've already spoken about one of the ways you can make money. A dividend yield is basically a percentage that shows the return that you get on a stock when a dividend is declared. The target price is an expectation of where the price of a stock is going to go to in the future. Market cap speaks to the value of a company. It's basically the number of shares outstanding then multiplied by the current market price. An index is an indicator of the performance. It's like a benchmark. It shows you how a particular industry or a particular country is performing. For the Nigerian markets, we have the NGX All Share Index. It's the general benchmark that has all the stocks in the stock market listed, and it shows the performance of the market. Liquidity speaks to how quickly you can trade a stock, and IPO speaks to it basically means initial public offering. It's the first time a company offers its securities to the market. Now, let me just quickly move into an example. I mentioned earlier about dividend yield and capital appreciation. So how does this all work? Let's take an example. So for example, Zenith Bank might have closed at 24.35, for example. We've done our research. We have a target price of 32 Naira. This means that we are expecting that in the future, if I buy my Zenith Bank at 24 Naira 35 Kobo today, I'm expecting the price to get to 32 Naira in the future. If I wait and the price gets there, I've made money. Also on the back of that, Zenith Bank, we expect that they're going to pay some dividends, maybe at the end of the year. Sometimes they do an interim dividend. So currently now, the dividend is about 12.32%. So happy days for me is that I buy at 24.35, 24 naira 35 kobo, and the price gets to 32 naira, I've made money. On top of that, there's a dividend that's announced and I get 12.32%. That's like the best case scenario for me as an investor in the stock market. Of course, there's no guarantee that this will go there, but that's how it basically works. So what are the benefits that you could get from investing in the stock market? So I've spoken about dividend yields, spoken about capital appreciation, long-term growth, diversification benefits. You also have benefits as a shareholder. Because you're a part owner, you get to participate in the annual general meetings, extraordinary general meetings. You have voting rights. You benefit from corporate actions, rights issues, bonus issues, and you can also use your stocks as collateral. So what are the considerations that you should have when you want to come into the stock market? So first thing, you need to have some money, call it capital. You will determine your investment objective, just assess your risk profile. Are you somebody who is risk averse, or are you somebody who likes to take on risk? This will determine the kind of investments that you're going to. Set up an account with a broker like Stanbic IBTC Stockbrokers. Like I mentioned earlier, understand exactly what you're investing in. Don't just buy stocks because everybody's buying stocks, or because it seems to be the in thing. Get an understanding of what it is that you're investing in, and you'll be better for it. And then follow news items. News is something, like I mentioned earlier, that affects the stock market. So if you hear of negative news of a company, it's likely the price might go down. If you hear of positive news of a company, it's likely the price is going to go up. So you have to basically keep an eye on news. Then keep track of your investment performance. Check it. You can measure it against, I mentioned index earlier on. You can measure the performance of your stocks versus the index. There are also sectorial indices that you can measure your performance of your stock against. And then, like I mentioned earlier, be consistent. Just keep a steady contribution in towards your investment. You can do it monthly or quarterly. So if you're looking at practical steps, open an account with us. You need to provide some basic KYC, such as the means of ID, proof of address. And now most stockbroking firms offer direct market access to their apps to the market rather, via the apps and the online portals. And at this point, I'm going to bring in Benjamin. He's going to speak to us about how to do this with Stanbic IBTC stockbrokers. So Benjamin, over to you.
All right, thank you so much, Afolabi, and thanks everyone for joining us in this session and have taken this journey with us. All right, so quickly I'll run through it. And I think this is where the rubber truly hits the road, where you get to put in practice everything that my colleague Afolabi has talked about. So the first thing you must do is to have a relationship with us, right? You must have a stockbroking account with us if you want to have the best of this experience. So to have a stockbroking account, I'll just drop a link quickly in the chat room where you can just click on and you get to start the journey. So all you need to do, like I say, is click on the link and then you are good to go to open the account. And the list of documentations that we require, it's in the link as well. I won't waste so much time on that. So the next thing is after you open your account with us, you get an online profile where you get your username and your password. We send you a default password and your username, which is your account ID with us. And what you need to do is to click on the link and you'll be on our website. You put in your password, put in your user ID as well, and then you click submit. You click log on. And next thing you get is a prompt of a token. The token overrides or gives you restricted access into your profile as well. And once you are in on our profile, we'll go in next, Afolabi. All right, so you verify with your token. Once you click in, you verify your token or your yeah, so this is what our landing page looks like. Afolabi, if you don't mind, let me just share my screen so I can take over the control. Yeah, thank you very much. All right. All right, great. So once you put in your one-time password, your token, this is what our landing page does look like. And what we want to do is to empower you to be able to take advantage of all that my colleague Afolabi has talked about. So the first thing you do is to click on the trade option. Once you click on the trade, it gives you a page where you're able to place your mandate directly. And I kid you not, this is almost as empowering you as a stockbroker yourself, because what it does is to enable you to access the market directly. So you put in your details. Once you log in, of course, it verifies your ID here, your ID, and then your CSCS number. You have an option to select if you want to do is to buy or if you want to sell. Of course, you click on a buy, and you just beside this is a symbol. You type in the stock, the particular stock you want to buy, and then it gives you a prompt. So you type in Stanbic, for instance, and then there's a prompt for you to select Stanbic. You select Stanbic, and then you have a choice to select if you want to buy at market price, or you want to select your own particular price. So to buy at market is to say that I want to buy at the prevailing price in the market. So the prevailing price here is 38 Naira for this particular stock. And then if you want to buy at limit, you select your limit. It tells you how much it is in the market, and then you have a privilege of selecting how much, or typing how much you want to buy at. And of course, you select the quantity, and then you set your date limit. The date limit is say, I want this mandate to be available in the market for the next 2 days or 3 days or 10 days, as the case may be, and then you go ahead to submit. Now, if you select a buy, the only difference is you have an option to set your mind, to make up your mind to say, do you want to keep the cash proceeds in your stockbroking account, or you want to transfer the cash proceeds? So both options are available for you. So if you select cash, keep proceeds, the proceeds remain in your stockbroking account. But if you select transfer proceeds, once you're able to sell your stock, or once your stock is bought up in the market, the proceeds are sent into your account on a T+3 basis. And to the right, you see top bids and offers. And then all of this is information to enable you take an informed decision. My colleague talked about that. Informed decision as to what you really want to buy and what you want to sell. It tells you how the market for that particular stock is doing, and then you submit. Now, so there's a trade preview. Once you submit, it gives you a prompt to say, for you to confirm, so to speak. You confirm if what you have ordered is what you want to do, and then you click on OK. That's about that. Now, there's a transaction history for you to see the volume of transactions you've done, or the history of transactions you've done. And the screen you're seeing now gives you an idea of that. So you also have the liberty to select the particular period that you want. You can also select open orders. So you just placed an order now, you're not comfortable with it, you want to close it. Once you select open orders on this drop down, if you select open orders, it gives you all the orders that are available that are yet to be executed. And then you can cancel if you want. And then there is a rejected orders, rejected in the market, right? So there's a canceled order. It also gives you a list of the orders that you have canceled by yourself. Now, if you go back to the homepage, this is what the homepage looks like. You would see that on your dashboard, you have cash, you have securities, and then you have total. You also have the market watch. So if you click on the market watch gives you an idea of how the market is playing out today. So it's a list of all the stocks that are in the market. You get their current price, the price that they closed at as at yesterday, what the high is, what the low is. I mean, all of this information just enables you to make up your mind on what stock or what you want to do in the market today. And right from here, you can actually go ahead to trade as well. So you are currently reviewing a stock, say Access Bank, for instance, or Cap Oil, and then the trade button in front of it, you just click on it. It gives you a pop-up that you can just begin to trade on almost immediately without having to navigate screens. So the next is withdraw funds. So you have X amount in your stockbroking account and you want to withdraw the proceeds. You want to transfer the cash in your account to your stockbroking account. No need to look far. Click on your homepage and you click on withdraw funds. And then it's as simple as just typing in the particular amounts that you want to withdraw. Of course, this is subject to your cash balance. And then you click on submit. Do you want to save? Yes, and then you proceed. Also from your home page, without having to go to the trade menu, there is a place order mandate, which you just need to click, and then it brings you to a page where you can place your mandate, which is what we went through at the initial stage. Now, this is a game changer as well. Beyond your ability to trade on the web, we also have a mobile app that enables you to do exactly the same thing. So for some people, you are comfortable trading with your web, you want to use your laptop or even your mobile device, that's okay. For some other people, what you want to do is to use your app. We also have the app that gives you exactly the same service that you enjoy from the web. And to begin that journey, you must have first logged on your website, on our website, to change your password. Once you have changed your password successfully, then you can load your mobile app. Our mobile app is available on the Android as well as on the iOS market, on the App Store and the iOS market as well. So once you have downloaded, you click to open, and of course, you log in with your password. Once you log in with your password, it's going to give you a prompt to set up your 4-digit PIN. Subsequently, you'll be logging in with your 4-digit PIN as well. So once you are logged in, this is what your landing page looks like. It gives you a dashboard, gives you a news portal, as well as your portfolio. So on your dashboard, you have a list of all the stock that is listed in the market, as well as how they are doing in the market. It gives you an idea of the number of stocks that have been purchased or sold, the gains, the losses. I mean, a full view of all the stock. So you're able to take an informed decision. After that is the news. On our news portal, you get information real time as things are happening in the market. And then in the portfolio, it gives you a list of all the stock that you have already and their costs. And it contains a toggle as well, where you're able to tell the market value, the earnings per share, as much information as you really need indeed to take a decision. That's what you have on your landing page. Now, if you click on any stock on your on the dashboard, it gives you an option either to buy or to sell. So what you have on the tablet, on the first tablet, is your dashboard that contains the list of all the stocks and the prices. Now, if you click on any of the stock, it gives you a pop-up option asking if you want to buy or if you want to sell. So if you click on buy, what you have on the third tablet is to get a quote, which is typically what you see using the mobile app. Once you're done with that, the second, on the top right of the app, you see 3 bars there. Once you click on these 3 bars, I didn't bother going into the details because, we've gone through that in using the web. So it's typically straightforward and about the same thing. So on the app, you see these 3 bars on the left. If you click on it, it gives you 3 options. That is your orders, your wallet, or your account. So if you click on orders, it gives you a prompt, which is what you have on the third tablet here. Now on your orders, it gives you an idea of everything that has been executed. So on your orders, you see executed, you see open, you see cancel, you see rejected. So the executed is everything that has been, every mandate that has been executed for you. So as at 9 o'clock this morning, you placed a mandate, you want to know if it's been executed, just come to your orders, click on executed, and you see if it has been executed. Otherwise, you will see a list of everything that has been executed before now as well. And then there is an option for you to filter. So filter is to say, I want to see only for this particular period. So you have that option available. So if you click on open, open gives you all the orders that you have available in the market that are yet to be executed, right? And then you have canceled, exactly the same thing that you see on the web. And this is the icing on it all. And I doubt that you find anything like this in the market, right? Our charges is 0.7% of your value of the trade, of the value of the trade that you're doing. So before now, it used to be 1% flat. Then we said to say, we can give you the 30% as extra funds to you to invest more. And you can take this to the bank, right? You hardly will find an offer that beats this. So if you're using any of our mobile channels, you are using our website or you're using our mobile app, you get charged only 0.7%. So we will charge you only 0.7% of the value of your trade. And I assure you, you can't get it any better, right? And if you are sending a manual mandate, that is, so you are sending us an email or you are writing a letter, we still have people in that category, right? They will charge you 1%. Thank you for listening to us and thank you for being part of this journey. And we'll really look forward to having more engagement with you. So quickly, we'll go to our questions and answer. I can see there's a lot of activity happening in the chat room already. And
Yes, but before we get to that, we want to bring in our panelists just so that we can engage with them. So our three panelists, we have some questions just for you guys, first of all, before we start taking the questions and answers from the audience. So I think you can stop sharing now, Benjamin, and then let's bring on the panelists. So our first question goes to Money Africa. So can you just tell us what your experience has been trading stocks in Nigeria? And just to mention, our other panelists are also welcome to answer the questions as well. But we'd like to start with Money Africa. So please, what was your experience? Or what has your experience been so far trading stocks in Nigeria?
All right. I want to turn on my video. Can you please give me the permission to?
Yes, please go ahead.
It says the host
okay.
has stopped it. All right, great. So I think I'll just jump right into talking about my experience of trading stocks in Nigeria. So I started investing in the stock market at the age of 24, right? So from my experience then, I've seen a lot of change in the market. Then it was a very, very high entry point. For some companies, you needed to have as high as over $1 million to start investing in the stock market. But now things have changed. The barrier is lower. And also my other experience as well is just being able to track my cost. As you previously said, Stanbic IBTC currently has the lowest rate in the market, which is about 0.7%, to be able to invest in the stock market. So my experience so far, number one, I've seen a drop in the entry price for being able to invest. So I don't have to wait to have a bulk sum before I invest. I can actually schedule my investment on a monthly basis. I can start with what I have and actually start investing in the stock market. Number two, I'm able to track my cost better. With a drop in the cost of investing in the stock market, I'm seeing savings. So that way I can utilize my savings to invest in the stock market. Number three, by being in the market for a longer period of time, you know how it is. There are cycles and you're able to see the cycles. So for beginners, I always want to say this. Number one, get started. As time goes on, your knowledge increases. You're able to see a pattern. You're more at peace. So when the crisis happened last year during COVID and everybody was panicking and selling off, I've seen it happen before. I've seen how the market comes in and goes back in cycles. So I did not panic. So also it comes with experience. So those are the things I've noticed. Number one, lower entry point. I can invest with what I have. I can do it on a monthly basis. Number two, I can track my costs. Stanbic currently has the lowest cost in the market. Number three, I can learn patterns. So I'm not worried about if the market is high or if the market is low. I can go ahead and cost average by going on a monthly basis because I understand that the market has trends. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Just to add to that, before we get the thoughts of the other panelists, is that Stanbic IBTC Stockbrokers currently has a zero account opening balance now. So with €0, you can actually open an account with us. With Wealth Monthly or Financial Jennifer, would you have any thoughts on that question before we go on to the next question? Okay, please go ahead.
Of course, if you can just give me access to turn on my video, that would be great.
Okay, I think the host would, if the host can just give all the panelists access to,
yes,
to turn on their cameras, that would be fantastic.
Thank you. Yes, so just like Tosin has said, I think the biggest thing that people need to go out with, and my experience in the markets, is the fact that you can start with what you have. Gone are the days where you have to have 1 million, all of those things. With as little as 10K, like I was saying in the beginning, 20K, 100K, you're able to start to buy stocks, to buy at your own convenience. Gone are those days where you had to look for all of those papers. Your mom used to have all of those things, go and look for the details. Nothing like that anymore. All of that barrier has been removed. And just like Benjamin said when he was telling us, it's really at the comfort of your smartphone. I always say that so far you have a smartphone, you have no reason not to invest. What's more, what I really like about what Stanbic IBTC is doing right now with this one, and why you need to take note, and very importantly, take action, is the fact that Stanbic IBTC has ensured that they put in mind all of the worries for most of Nigerians, which is the fact that what happens with this app, if I invest on this app and then the app disappears tomorrow, what's going to happen? Where is all my money? All this hard-earned money, we know inflation, all of those things. What I like is you can easily walk into a Stanbic bank Stanbic IBTC back and say, bros in the Lord, where is my money? The app has not opened this morning. I know I have money in it. So those are these simple things that I like. And the direct access. You don't need anyone to give you the details or to teach you or to say this is what's going to happen. You can easily do it on your own, of course, with knowledge. So start out today with, if you are saving 10K every month, start out with that. Next month, you add another 10K to it. What I've seen and what I know is, look, the biggest winners in the markets, the biggest winners in the stock market as you start today, the biggest winners are not the people that trade every day, buying and selling. No, it's the people that buy each month, leave the money there and watch it compound. I remember last year looking at my app and seeing dividends that came in. And I'm like, so this is how people get rich in this world. This is money that you don't have to work for. There's nothing like that money. That money you don't have to work for. That's what stocks gives you. So it starts with you deciding today that I'm going to look at this app that has been introduced to me. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to start to put money in it. It's really as easy as it looks. I know that maybe some of you, I've seen some of the comments, people are asking, explain it a little slower and stuff. It's not as that as it seems. I promise you, if me can do it, I'm in entertainment. And I like stocks and I trade stocks and I buy and sell. It's easy for every single Tom, Dick, and Maria to do it. So I think that's my experience. I'll never go back. I buy stocks with 2K. You know that urgent pay? I buy stocks with it. I don't dull at all.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for those thoughts. Financial Jennifer, I can see you're ready to go. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I need to add something. You know, before now, most of us are more into the global market. Post Shola, Money Africa, always telling us investing in Amazon and all of that. But we don't pay attention to the Nigerian stock market. And if you realize, last year, the NGS actually performed best, like in the whole world, they were the best performing stock. And you be like, wait, why am I running away? Whereas in my home country, something nice is happening here. Honestly, it was not until I entered the financial sector, I began to see what people are doing in this Nigerian stock market. Many of us used to run away from. I'm like, oh, more, this one cannot pass me by. So initially, that the issue of commission, we even like that one was I know most houses do 1 point something, and I realized that Stanbic IBTC actually does 0.7. Really, even the apps we use abroad, many of them still do 1 point something. And so that was a motivating factor. So my people, just like you, I'm relatively new in the Nigerian stock market, but trust me, so far, so good. Stanbic IBTC makes it easier with their app. And like Shola said, you don't even have to have plenty money. Just start. Okay, someone says something. I think Paula Ronshaw in the comment section, she was like, she did a recording of this. She wants to share it with her children. I loved that. I really love that, because if there was a post I made one day on social media, if my parents invested so amount for me when I was born, by now I would be a millionaire. I wouldn't be here with two people, seriously. But because they didn't have that knowledge, and we have it, let's share it to the people coming forward. Really, the Nigerian stock market is not as bad as we think. It's not as bad as they think. And I think there is an MTN offer coming up. I've created my Stanbic IBTC app. I'm waiting for MTN to release price. My brother, just like me, let's take advantage of this market. Trust me.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Financial Jennifer. So the next question goes to Wealth Motley. So basically, what are the benefits of trading stocks based on your experience?
Numerous benefits. I think you mentioned some of them already while you were talking, which is the fact that but I think something that I would like to point out first is the liquidity of it. And what do we mean by liquidity? The fact that I bought this stock last month with 2005. And I wake up this morning, the stock market is open, and that stock has gone from 2005 to 5,000. I can decide in that instant to sell it. And that instant I click withdraw and code, the money is in my app, is in my bank account, I'm free to go. It's that fact. A lot of people will say, if you want to invest, Go and buy land, oh, they are not making new land. Very true, they're not making new land. But have you ever tried to sell a house in Lagos? I know houses in my estate that have been on the market for the past 2 years. A lot of people don't have millions and millions and millions to buy a house. But with your stocks, you buy and you sell with ease. I think that's what, that entry point, that fact that with what you have, you can start. You have 10 million naira, you can start. You have 10,000 naira, you can start. I think that's one of the biggest things. Now, what I like also about stocks is you don't only make money in one way. Like we say in my language, there's no one road to the market. That's the way about stocks. And that's what I really like about it. The fact that I make money from dividends, people don't realize that while not all stocks pay dividends, there are different ways to make money from stocks. You can make money from appreciation alone. The fact that I bought this share now at 2 naira per share, and I bought 1,000 of it. And then all of a sudden, this company, they are working very hard, they are doing very well. I'm seeing them, adverts everywhere, everybody's opening accounts with them, nice. And before you know it, that share goes from 2 naira to 3 naira. Just like that, without lifting a muscle. That's what I like, guys. As human beings, me and you, no matter how hard we like to work, you will get tired. But you see, putting your money to work in a place like the stock market, it is legal blood money left to me, because you don't have to lift a muscle. That money will work its butt off for you. All these my nice people working, they'll be working for you. You will just sit at your house, you will check your app. Wow, 2 naira has become 3 naira. And you can instantly sell. That's what I like about it. And that's what keeps me there. Now, that's just one. Now, the next part is the dividend part, which is the money you get once these companies declare that they've made profits. And just like that, I remember getting 50K from one of the stock that I invested at DVD. My people in the Lord, I cannot tell you the happiness that entered my heart, Daddy, without lifting a muscle. These people have dashed me in this climate, 50K. And that's just from one stock. Now imagine you had stocks like that and you pay this quarterly. Most companies do it quarterly. So you can expect some sort of quarterly stuff. Of course, it depends on how the market moves up and down. But if you've been in the market for a while, in the Nigerian stock market for a while, like you've said, you see that there's been a lot of growth, especially if you buy good sectors. Yeah, there's been a lot of growth, consistent dividend paying for a couple of years. So you are losing out and you're missing out. And I feel like this is an absolute best way. And Stanbic IBTC answers a lot of questions that people worry about. This stocks is owned by one human being. No, this is not. This stock app is owned by one human being. No, it's owned by Stanbic IBTC, a bank you know for years and years. You walk into it, you can ask questions, you can do all of those things. 2, what's going to happen to my money from it? What I like, and you see, when you see something new, a lot of people are very worried, especially in Nigeria, or even upwardly mobile young people like me are like, why is this so hard to register on this thing now? It should be very easy like A and B. What I like that they've done is to pay attention to anything that the CBN can give you issues for, which is to make sure that you put in all your KYC, you put in all your details, you put in all of those things on the app. So you are sure that even if something happened, like one and mommy was saying that she wants to share the video, if something happens to mommy tomorrow morning, the kids know where to go. Their names are already registered into the app. And I like that they put all of those things in place. So those are the reasons why you need to start buying stocks. It's not like before where parents have died and we start to wonder what happened to the shares they bought. It is all in one place. Yeah. So those are the reasons why I invest, guys. It's the simplicity of it, the fact that it's very fast, the fact that it's very liquid. I don't have to wait for 1 year to sell it. I can sell it when I want. You know, all of those things are really what drew me into the buying stocks. And it's something that you never regret. I find like it's a good addiction to have, buying stocks.
Fantastic.
Companies.
Thank you so much. Do you have any other contributions, any of our other panelists, before we go to the other question?
All right, I just wanted to add that, I mean, some of the perks of investing in the stock market is just being able to also know the risk profile, right? So you cannot put all your eggs in one basket. It's not wisdom. For instance, you can't put money for rent in the stock market because in as much as it's a great place to invest, we really do not know what's going to happen. Let's say, for instance, there's a new virus in the market now, Omicron. So let's say, we are seeing a repeat of what happened when there was, the COVID and what happened in the market. So because of how in the short term, it's not predictable, but in the long run, you can predict it, but in the short run, you can't. That also gives a reason why a stock market is a good place to invest, right? It has a higher risk profile than leaving your money in the savings in the bank, right? And at the same time, it carries its own different risk appetite. Also, within the stock market, there's also different varying degree of risk, right? So for a lot of beginners saying, where do I start from? A fantastic way to start from is like, for instance, the ETFs, right? ETF works like a cocktail. It's a mixture of a couple of other stocks in one drink. So you get to get the best of both worlds without taking the individual risk of each stock. So the stock market also offers you the opportunity where you can participate in a couple of stocks without buying everything individually. So the ETF sort of offers you that. That's one of the beauty of investing in the stock market as well. And always, 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 we always tell people, in as much as there's the pros, we also have the cons. So when you're coming into that market with the knowledge, you're able to make sound decisions. So the stock market is nowhere to put your rent. The stock market is nowhere to put money for eating, right? It cannot be predicted in the short run. When the long run, you can see stability over time. So can I put a portion of my salary on a monthly basis in the long run? Absolutely, yes, I can. And with the right knowledge, you're able to do that. And you can even get a return that beats inflation, because inflation is a thief and it steals from you. And sometimes you can see the stock market offering you returns that matches or that is higher than inflation rate. So those are some of my positives for investing in the stock market.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Jennifer, anything to add very quickly before we go on to the next question? Or okay, you're muted, but I think
so just adding to what Tosin and Shola said, most of us, we always like, everybody wants to make money while you sleep. Yes, that's the word that they usually put out there. Everybody wants to make money where they sleep, but without realizing that we have one easy vehicle that could do that for us. Because come on, that's what the stock market does. You just put in your money. You don't have to stay there watching it day and night. Just put it there and chill, and it's growing. I was speaking with my uncle sometime last month in this same Nigerian stock market. I think it was like back then they paid him, was it bonus sometime about 2 million something. He threw it in the banking sector. And he was showing me his statement, close to 4 million. And it's not even up to 5 years. Money he didn't work for. Like, all of us will still be there waiting for when we go to sleep and our money will grow. Stock markets can do that for us. And remember, it's highly regulated. We know the risk involved, economic risk and all of that. But aside from that, nobody will run away with your money. We're tired of hearing all these stories. So instead of going to invest where you will hear stories that touch, why not consider this? And also know that you can come in as little amount as you can afford.
Fantastic. Thank you. So my next question is directed at you, actually, Financial Jennifer. So what do you think about the Stanbic IBTC stockbroking app?
Okay. Let me say this. If we are connected on social media, you know that I've not really recommended any Nigerian platform before, because number one, I was skeptical about the fees. I feel it's too much. But then recently, it's not been long I signed up on Stanbic. But I must say, number one, I'm attracted by the fee. Me, I like Igbo gear. I don't play with that part. Like, I'm attracted by the fee. But the simplicity. Okay, there was one other app I tried one time. You realize that you click something, you keep loading. It's frustrating. But I haven't experienced that so far. I've not been using it long. But for the little period, I found my wallet. Normal time is reflecting immediately, not immediately, no, the normal due process, but that doesn't take time. The interface, it's smooth. I think that's the word. The platform is just smooth. If you don't like stress like me, aside from the KYC part, I know many of you will be like, KYC, but work in the financial sector, I know how these things can be. It's regulators. They want you to provide all of those things, and it is for our own good. So aside from that registration part, trust me, you're going to enjoy the platform. I'm not just saying it because IBTC is here, but it's something I've been enjoying using so far.
Thank you so much. Okay, so at this point, I'll give Benjamin the floor to take us through some of the questions. I see that there are quite a number of questions already, and our colleagues at Stanbic IBTC are already trying to answer some of them. So Benjamin, please, over to you.
All right, thank you so much, Afolabi, and welcome on board again, everyone. So the first question I have here, it says, what are the processes and timelines when trading stocks on the Stanbic IBTC stockbroking app? All right, so for in terms of timelines, it's like when you go to the market, you're not in control of who comes to buy or who comes to sell. So the way it typically works is you come to the floor with what your offer or your bid is, what you're coming to buy or what you want to sell. So for instance, you want to buy 1,000 units of Stanbic IBTC shares. You're not in control of who is in the market to sell, right? But what we can assure you is that once you place your mandate using the app or using the web, it's already in the market waiting for grabbers. So depending on the volume, and if you are buying at market price or if you set a price, it's almost possible to be consumed almost immediately, depending on market activity for that particular stock. So if there's a mandate in the market, somebody is willing to sell 1 million units of Stanbic IBTC shares, and you are in the market to buy 1,000, of course, that's market supply and demand meeting almost immediately, and your order is taken. So it always depends on the activity in the market. However, where the market activity is very active and what you're buying is available in the market, it's immediately. So that answers that question. I hope that's clarified. See, another question says, how does one invest in stocks for both short-term and long-term investments? Afolabi, you take that.
Okay, cool. So, I mean, when I think about the stock market, it's usually a long-term thing that you should have in mind. Like I mentioned, it's possible that, yes, you put your money today and next week, news hits the market about the stock you're invested in and the price doubles, but there's also the downside of that, as the same way your price is appreciated by ×2, it can go down by divided by 100, based on, whatever is happening in the market. So I would always advise that, you think long-term, that way you'll be able to benefit from, dividends and capital appreciation, from this stock. So that's the answer that I would give to that question.
All right, thanks, Afolabi. I have another question. Says, so we have a lot of questions, and we just have to.
I think Both Motley wanted to quickly add a comment.
Yes, I just wanted to add to what Afolabi said, that look, the stock market, like I always say, is the greatest wealth creating machine in the world. But in the short term, it doesn't look like that. I'll say that in the last couple of weeks, if you invested in Nigeria or maybe even the international stock market, it might not have been the great one, but I promise you, if you've invested in 5 years, then you will see the growth. So a lot of us put money in and we say, they have said stock is growing, let me put my money. Yeah, you put your money in, great. And then in 2 months, 3 months, 1 year, you say, it's only 5% growth now and they're shouting on these things. That's not where you see the beauty. Compound interest, the secret to compound interest is time. It's that time that you give it to grow. I'll give you a quick example. There's an international stock that a lot of people bought. If you'd bought it in, say, 1 year, you probably would have made 20% growth. But if you bought it in the long term, you put your 100K in say 10 years ago into it, your money will literally not be 10x, which is, say, your 100K become 1 million. Your money will literally be 20 times, 30 times the price, just because you allow the long term, a longer time. So like Tosin was saying, in the short term, the stock market is very unpredictable. You'll be worried. You look at people who say, hey, this money has gone down. Oh, what is happening? These people are lying to me. But the beauty really is in the long term. That's when it becomes predictable. You know for a fact that these companies are working hard. Even though there's inflation and all of those things, this thing gives you time. So that time, I never advise anybody to do short-term trading. I don't personally do it, so I will not be the one to tell you. But I promise you that in the long term, you'll be extremely excited. You woke up this morning, watched this video, sat down with us through it, actually took action by opening an account and starting to buy good companies. You'll be very happy when you wake up in 3-4 years and look at your investment account.
Spot on. All right, thank you so much. Another question says, how can we be more financially aware and identify opportunities when they present themselves?
Yes, I mean, you just need to stay, just be connected, I would say. Be connected to what's going on in the country, be connected to what's going on with companies, read the news, subscribe to people's sort of mailing lists, stockbroking firms' mailing lists, information. There's so much information that comes out, pretty much almost every day. If you even go on the NGX website, almost on a daily basis, there's something happening. Stockbroking firms like our own, we try and make it easy for you, so you don't have to go there. We actually just send you the information. So just like stay close to what's happening. That's what I would say.
I want to add to that. I think, sorry, I just want to quickly add to that. I want us to start seeing investing like a lifestyle. I always tell people, right? If you start saying like every month, everybody's going to buy groceries, right? Everybody's going to go to the store and get things to eat. When you start seeing investing as a lifestyle, as something that is necessary, you also change your circle about it. So for instance, I'm seeing a change. People are going for lunch and they're talking about stocks. Oh, did you buy GTB? Are you getting dividend? Did you buy that global share? And the conversation is changing. So even with who are you following on Instagram? What community are you being a part of? Your cycling community, do you speak to them about money? Do you speak to your family about money? For those that believe in Thanksgiving, did you have a conversation about money? So just basically making it a lifestyle thing, changing the way you think about it, the society, your community, and just being very deliberate about the information you surround yourself about would increase your awareness. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Great. All right, so how do I better manage my account and investments efficiently?
I would say one easy way is to, like, for example, our app gives you everything you need to know about your accounts at the tip of your fingertips. So basically just having access to your account, we send statements to you so that you know exactly what's happening with your account. But I mean, if you download the app and you have it at the tip of your fingers, it makes it much more easier to be able to manage your accounts better.
Right, that's cool. So next question says, do you get an account manager that constantly interacts with me and asks questions about my stocks directly? Well, so at Stanbic IBTC Stockbroking, we do have several means of engagement or interactions with you. That's the mobile app, the web. We have a stockbroking email. We have our contact phone number as well. All of this we paste in the chat room so that you can use. I mean, so these are several channels that you use to engage, and you can also engage us. Do you get a specific account manager to your account, to your profile? We all are your account managers, so we are available every time you reach out to us. So the next question is there any relationship between the stockbroking and the retirement savings account? Can you trade using your pensions account? Afolabi, go ahead.
No, so unless you started receiving your pensions and that's the money that you want to put in the stock market, not necessarily, no. Your stockbroking account is different from your retirement savings account. And then going back to the initial point I made about investing with money that you can't afford to lose, I mean, I would ask whether using your pension, if you are collecting your pension, is something you'd want to put in the stock market. But I mean, yeah, that's my response.
It says, what is the best bid price strategy? This is an expo. What's bid price strategy? How do I discern the right stock to pick at any given time? Okay, I mean, Afolabi would answer this question, but before then, I'd like to ask Jennifer, right? I like the use of the word discern. Do you consider discern a financial term?
Discern, really, I don't know what you think, but does that apply in the financial sense? I know that, okay, we want to do our fundamental analysis. You people that are into the finance want to do the technical analysis. But personally, I want to understand, what's this company? What do they do? Who do they serve? Who is their leader? Their product? How is it? Like, you know, how liquid is with the stock be? So I look at these fundamental things. I don't do spiritual in the stock market. I don't know if you do, but I look at the fundamentals. I leave it for you people that are the experts to do the technical analysis. I'm subscribed to your newsletter, and so I get updates on this one. What's all those big words we use? What's all those the PE ratio is this one, all those big ones. But me, as a layman, I know one stress. Okay, this stock, this company, what do they do? What industry is this? In the next 10 years or 20 years, will they still be there? Are they technologically inclined and all of that? That is my own assignment. So I don't know if your own is going, I don't understand. So that is
all right, so Afolabi.
My own.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. So over to you, Afolabi.
I think Jennifer has said it all. There's no crystal ball when it comes to investing in the stock market. Just use the guidelines that Jennifer has said. Do your research. Make sure you know exactly what you're getting into. Check the profitability of a company. Is it a company that makes money? Are they making losses? Obviously, don't put your money in a company that's making losses. Look for companies that are profitable and basically are showing you that, you know, based on what they're going to do and the kind of business they're into, it's likely that this line of profitability would continue. So I think I'll just leave it there, Ben.
Right, thank you. Next question says, can we trade international or dollar-denominated stocks on the Stanbic IBTC? You can trade a local stock. All right, so at the moment, you can only trade our local stock. All stocks that are listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange is what is available on our mobile app. Our conversations are ongoing, and of course, we'll bring it to the public as soon as we're able to firm up on international stocks. All right, so the next question says, how do I know the type of stocks to invest? Okay, how do I know the type of stocks to invest in that are low risk with good ROI on investments? Afolabi.
I think we've kind of tackled this a little bit before. So you just have to do your research, find out exactly what you're into, profitability of the company, check their track record. You know, over the past couple of years, what have they been giving you as a return? Do they pay dividends, or do you basically make money from capital appreciation? So just check out all those stuff. And yeah, okay. I see Jennifer has her hands
Okay,
up.
yes, I know it's easy for us to say, do your research and all of this. Trust me, some of us don't have that. Not everybody, like, if you, what am I researching? So a pointer is that I know most brokers, they give recommendations. Some big release recommendations on stock. You do that, right? I think I've gotten a report like that, maybe weekly recommendations on stock. I know some brokers do that. As a beginner, you can start from there. Okay, they're recommending and so company. You can ask yourself, what does this company do? What did they mean? You can read it up. You can start from there, trust me. Because if you start waiting for when let me go and do what did they say? PI ratio, this one ratio, it may dull you. So far you've decided, okay, I want to do this. Start with the recommendations of the expert. You can decide to check them out yourself. Like you can do fundamental analysis, which is just basically what did they do? How do they make money and all of that. Then go with your gut feeling based on the recommendations they make. So you don't have to like come up from nowhere. And there is something you can also do. Those products you use. Okay, I make calls every time. I use data every time. Can I invest in these companies? So these are things that could guide you. You don't have to like be the one to, okay, let me go and discover this company. Go with recommendations I've given you. You can then check them out for yourself till you are able to like do this on your own. I needed to add that.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Lots of questions there. I see that my colleagues are also responding to some of them already. So it's, okay, I see a question says, can you buy stock and keep for like 20 years? And I think that Sholafumi already addressed that.
Yes, absolutely. And that should actually be your goal. I promise you that the sort of returns you get waiting for that length of time is life-changing money. Is that stuff that you say, this is money. That's what you get when you invest for a long period. People don't see that. You take out all of the risk of the stock market when you identify a good company and you invest in it. And like some all the panelists have mentioned, the different things that you want to look out for. What's this company doing? You know, who is their leader? You always invest in the leader. Who is the person leading this company? Does this person know where they are going? Because invariably, when you invest in a company, you invest in the leader of that company. So all of those things are some of the things you want to check. You also want to check what industry, what technology is it? Remember when we used to send things via post, when you had to post a letter? Would you invest in a post office now where there's email and I can easily send? So look at some of those things as trends in the market when you want to do. Also consider ETFs. I see a lot of people have looked at ETFs. ETFs are exchange traded funds. I think they're the best things in sliced bread. And I hope and I'm sure that on the Stanbic IBTC app, you would find some great ones to invest in. It's literally life-saving. For a lot of beginners, I'll say ETFs is where you want to look at. Look at some of those recommendations from that Stanbic IBTC sends to you in their newsletters, but also consider ETFs. It's the best of both worlds. Imagine in a nice mortar, you put in shares of Stanbic IBTC, shares of MTN, shares of this thing, and you pound everything together and you buy one single portion of that stuff you pounded. You have bought a tiny piece of all of those companies. That's what ETF is. It is the best thing ever. As a beginner, that's how I started. I buy it, I put my money in it, and I close my eyes. Each month you are invested in all of those great companies in the ETFs. And I think that's what you should start with. Look at that. Look at those recommendations. There is no barrier to starting. 10K today, 5K tomorrow. Just start. It's one of the best things you can do for yourself.
Right. Thank you so much, Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I have one question, Afolabi. It says, I have been meaning to invest in stocks for some time now. And I believe that this is from Joanne David. I believe by now you are made up already anyway. It says, I've been meaning to invest in stocks for some time now, but concerned with how it will be managed. So how would you help me if I come on board? In 2 lines, Afolabi.
Okay, so we provide an execution service. So basically, for us at Stanbic IBTC Stockbrokers, we let you make your decision about what you want to invest in, and we facilitate that process for you and make it as efficient as possible. But we leave you to make the decision as to what you want to invest. So please reach out to us. We also provide some extra guidance if you need to talk to us about, like, some stocks or some sectors that you're thinking about. Please reach out to us. But that's basically how it works.
All right, thank you. I have a question, says, how do I fund my wallet? All right, so if you want to fund your wallet, I'm assuming you already have a stockbroking account with us already. So all you need to do is to send the fund to a pool. We'll provide the details of the account you'll be funding. And if you're using your Stanbic IBTC Bank mobile app, there is a function that enables you to fund your stockbroking account directly from the payment module. So all you need to do is identify or locate Stanbic IBTC stockbroking under investments. And then once you click on it, you put in your stockbroking account details, and whatever amount you capture automatically feeds into your stockbroking account. And I see a lot of everyone requesting for a copy of this presentation. One thing I assure you is that this video is going to be available on our YouTube channel, so you can always refer to it, have your family members listen to it. You can as well listen to it time and over again. Can IBTC manage my stock? Yes, Stanbic IBTC Stockbroking can manage your stock holdings. All you need to do is start off by opening an account, a stockbroking account with us. So it's making my fund available and you manage the stock for me to make interest. Not so clear. Joseph, if you can clarify that question. Scrolling through. Oh, so there are tons of them here. Tons of.
Yeah, I saw a couple of comments about risk.
Yes.
I think somebody was talking about how we're talking about the upside, but not really highlighting the downside. So, I mean, with anything that you invest in, there's always a potential for, like, a downside. So we're not saying that it's a foolproof. There's no guarantees that we're making over here. We're just giving you information to let you know that this is a fantastic opportunity you should look at. But there's still downsides, as with everything, almost everything in life. So just to bear that in mind.
Okay, thank you, Afolabi. Says, I have a Stanbic mobile app only for savings. Can I use the same for stocks? Okay, so if you launch your Stanbic IBTC Bank mobile app, there is a stock option somewhere on the bottom right here. Once you click on it, it launches the Stanbic IBTC stockbroking app for you as well. Please, can the financials also drop their emails? All right. Jennifer, Tosin, everyone asking for your email here.
Or better still, let's connect on social media. You can connect Financial Jennifer on Instagram. Let's connect there. I think it will be easier.
Are the investments limited to Nigerian stocks? Yes, on our mobile app and on our web, you can only trade stocks that are listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Yes, that's for now. So how is ETF different from mutual funds? Afolabi, is speaking to this?
I think this question is actually directed at Wealth Motley.
Okay.
I think it was triggered when she was selling ETFs, so she can speak and then I'll come in.
All right, just to also mention before you come in at Wealth Monthly, we have ETFs that are available for the public, but then once you start off to trade with us, you'll be able to benefit from all of this. Wealth Monthly, over to you.
Thank you. Please, people are calling me Mrs. Please, I'm too young for that. Just call me Shola from your Wealth Monthly. And please, you can connect with me on my IG page, Wealth Monthly. We say a lot of very simple investment information there. Okay, so exchange traded funds. for me. Let me explain. Exchange traded funds. You know, like we say, the stock exchange traded funds is literally just mutual funds that are on the stock market. So you can buy and sell it like a stock, unlike a mutual fund, which is really sold at the end of the trading day, or you know the price at the end of the trading day. That's the difference in an ETF. The fact that you can buy and sell it like a stock. So for example, and there's lots of ETF in Nigeria, but a very common one that we all make reference to is like the S&P 500, which is like the top 500 companies. And those companies, if you bought one share of that ETF, you have bought a tiny piece of all of the 500 companies in it. That's like the ETF, and you can buy it on a stock market. So that's the difference in a stock, in a ETF and the mutual fund. So for like the mutual funds, if you wanted to buy those, you pay commissions, do all of those things on them. Whereas if I was going to buy an ETF now on the Stanbic IBTC app, it's very easy. I will just buy it exactly like a stock. That's what I like about it. And that's why I really just sort of tap into like ETF stock, because it's very easy and it's the simplicity. Just like you will click on buying a Stanbic IBTC share today. If you had money for that, you can easily buy an ETF just on the stock market once it's open, and you can sell in the same way. So I think it's the simplest. I always look for the simplest, guys.
Yeah.
The simplest, fastest way to the market to make money. We go.
Cool. Just to add to that, so I mean, a mutual fund is like a pool of funds that's brought together for the purpose of investing in something. So you have different kinds of mutual funds. There's money markets mutual funds, there's equity mutual funds. An ETF, I don't want to get too technical, but it's basically something that tracks the performance of a particular kind of an index. So you have, for example, we have the Stanbic IBTC ETF 40. It tracks a certain number of stocks and that performance, the performance of the stocks as we go along. So I hope that clarifies further.
Wow, Afolabi, you guys are hiding such great info like this. You people have your own select ETF. You are not telling us. Please, let me start putting my money in it. Those are the things now. The simplest one. Did you hear that? 40 correct companies. You buy that, you've gotten a chance to track and follow those performances. So that's it. What more could be easier?
All right. Thank you so much, both. Okay.
I just wanted to add, one of the differences between the ETFs and the mutual fund is that you usually find that ETFs sometimes are actively managed, right? So you also look at the cost as well, because an account that is passively managed and one that is actively managed will have a difference in cost. So that's also something to look at.
Yeah, spot on. All right, so a question here says, what do we do to help suggest stocks that are doing well? I think that's been answered by the previous sessions. But again, if you look through our app or the website, you'd always get a detail of performance of stocks in the market, right? So you'd see the prices, you see how well they are doing, and then you can take a decision. Then someone is asking, how can we join the mailing list? So once you come on board, once you have opened your stockbroking account with us, your email address is added to our mailing list, also depending on your preference or where we see that you may have a need. And then once you have that relationship with us, once you have your stockbroking account with us, your email address is added to a mailing list, and then you begin to receive certain information on a daily basis. Okay. What else?
Just to provide a clarification, I think somebody was asking about us managing. So just to reiterate again, we don't actually manage your stocks for you. You take your decisions. We facilitate that process with execution. But I mean, we're part of a holding company. There's a sister company that we have that can help you if that's what you're interested in. So just reach out to us if that's what you want. But at Stanbic IBTC Stockbrokers, we facilitate the execution of your mandates.
Great. Okay, just running through to see if there's any that has not been attended.
Obviously, we don't have time to take all the questions.
Yeah, of course.
And there have been quite so many. So I don't know how we're going to.
Okay, so I mean, our lines remain opened. Our email, our stockbroking email address also available. Put it on the chat room again, just so that everyone has access. So feel free to, reach out to us, send us emails or call us We're available to take as much questions and answer as many queries as you may have that we may not have addressed here. We're way beyond our time now. Okay. Oh, can we trade foreign stocks? We answered this before. Now I'm going to do locally listed stocks. Yeah. All right, so thanks everyone. Thank you for joining us in this session. Thanks for being part of this. Jennifer, Shulafumi, Oluwatosin, Afolabi, and to everyone who's put in one post or the other and has made out time to join us today. We're very grateful for you to have been part of this, and we look forward to having even more brighter engagements with you in the near future. Thank you so much, everyone, and enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you.
Have a nice